are Druze? Why are they fighting against Bedouins in Syria? And is Israel not done with airstrikes where it is getting involved in Syrian conflict as well? Syria's post-war order still seems fragile, where we see Druze as well as Bedouins fighting, and Israel is also not staying off. But the question is, who are these people that they are fighting in Syria? And it also has Israel involved now. Hello everyone, welcome to Vajiram and Ravi's Flash News. My name is Shubhangi Singh, and today we are going to understand these two communities, Druze as well as Bedouins. Because from the perspective of your exam, there have been direct questions not just about the locations of the particular tribes in the country where there is a conflict, but also with the ethos associated with them. So let us begin with understanding about these tribes and then also going into the conflict that is present in Syria and how Israel got involved in this. So when we talk about the first community that is involved, that is Druze, and they are present in the Levant region of the Middle East. So you will find their presence in Syria, you will find their presence in Lebanon, you will find some presence in Jordan and Israel as well. If we talk about their origins, 11th century offshoot of Islamism, that is from Shia Islam, is seen. If we talk about this particular tribe, they have their certain key beliefs that sets them apart. The fact that they believe in monotheism as well as reincarnation. So they believe there are cyclical rebirths and there is spiritual purification that happens with rebirths. They are also associated with esotericism, that is basically secrecy in terms of teachings. So they are only accessible, the teachings are only accessible to occults, basically who are the ones who initiate. Then we also have seen that they have closed faith, that there is no possibility of conversion either into this particular belief or out of this belief, and they have a fixed doctrinal truth which has been set from 1050 CE. They also believe in veneration. They have prophets such as Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, and philosophers such as Socrates and Aristotle they have talked about. Now, when we talk about the other community that is associated in this chaos is the one Bedouins. They are found not just in Arabian Peninsula, they are also spread over northern Africa as well as the Levant region, in which we find Druze as well. Now, if we talk about especially Syria specifically, when we talk about Bedouins, they are mostly Sunni Muslims and some of them still follow the nomadic life which is associated with Bedouins, but most of them in this region are already urbanized. So when we talk about their key beliefs and understandings, core characteristics that are associated with them, they are associated with nomadic pastoralism. That means herding camels, goats and sheep is majorly how they see their livelihoods, and tribalism is present. Patrilineal clans are present which are led by sheikhs, and they are deeply tied to the faith of Sunni Islamism, and they are followed by oral tradition. Furthermore, valor, hospitality and linear pride is what we see as their honor code. Now, both of these tribes have not always been against each other. There has been certain amount of interdependence that has been seen historically, if we talk about trade, if we talk about farming support, but there has been conflict and cooperation phases as well. From Great Syrian Revolt that we see in 1920s, then there were later tensions that were seen in 1950s under Adib Shikraki. Now here we need to understand with a specific reference to Syria. So when we talk about Syrian conflict, in this particular scenario, we have to understand that Bedouins are a minority in the Druze-dominated area of Suwaida. If we have to understand this whole scenario, we would need to see that what exactly is happening here. So this is the Suwaida region which is heavily dominated by Druze. And this is the dominated region in which the fight, initially it was just a fight, kidnapping, which later became a sectarian violence and also involved. When we talk about this whole scenario, we need to understand that what is the conflict that happened. So if we talk about trigger of this conflict, I just said it started with a very small fight where a Bedouin man had robbed a Druze man, and this led to retaliations, kidnappings in the Druze dominated area. Now this conflict gradually got escalated when the military involved with Druze and Bedouins had their own fighters which were involved in clashes, and this led to aggravated grievances which have existed historically in terms of land, power and state favoritism that is seen. So in terms of state favorism, we seen preference towards Bedouins, but if we talk about the Suwaida region itself, it has always been Druze dominated area and they maintain their own military, but for the sake of only protection that we see here. Now, because of this, the conflict got escalated, and after that, we got to see that the Syrian government was siding with the Bedouins. And as soon as they started to side with Bedouins, Israel entered with airstrikes on Damascus because of the fact that they have brotherhood with the Druze community and they would like to maintain that. So that was the scenario when Israel decided to strike Syria as well, when Israel is already engaging in conflicts on multiple fronts. So here, this is how a conflict that was pretty much internal got Israel involved in this very situation. If we talk about whole of this conflict that has arisen, as per the Syrian government, the killings and everything has gradually been dissolved, but it has already taken so many lives. And basically, we see spiral of violence here. How? If we talk about Druze reprisals, Bedouin mobilization from other provinces keeps happening in their Suwaida region, and because of that, they are against it. Furthermore, civilian casualties as well as mass displacement happens because of the same. So in coming time, this is a problem that persists and it was a minor thing that escalated into a bigger thing. But from the perspective of your exam, it becomes important for you not to just understand the conflict, but also the tribes associated with it. Now, my question to you here is, if we talk about the North African and Middle Eastern region, Middle East Asia, what are the key tribes that you find here which have been in highlight in terms of news? You can put it down in the comment section. That was all from my side. Thank you so much.